Hey, my name is Baldur Steingrímsson, and today I want to tell you about a software utility called SearchRec, which can be used for expedient identification and visualization of computer-aided design files. You might ask yourself, so what problem does SearchRec address exactly? As we answer that question, let's keep in mind that, not surprisingly, the vendors of most tools for computer-aided design want to lock users up in their own ecosystem. While some standardized file formats exist, the cross-vendor support tends to be quite limited. Let's also keep in mind that for engineers having to work or interface with design teams using different CAD systems, the tool cost can escalate if each CAD tool is supposed to be purchased separately. Furthermore, this is especially the case if these engineers are working with databases of CAD files where thumbnail images have not been separately archived, because then the Windows Explorer cannot be used to search for those files. The people that might find themselves in this type of situation might include mechanical designers that recently joined a new project team and need to get quickly up to speed on ongoing design projects. Or it might include individual designers with large archives of CAD files from past projects. Due to various reasons, these archives might not be all very well organized. Or it might include software engineers, contractors, or consultants that are interfacing with the CAD designers and are required to accept CAD files from groups utilizing different CAD systems. This also might include personnel on the manufacturing side that accept CAD designs from groups utilizing different CAD systems. SearchRec is a low-cost solution for anyone working with multiple CAD systems. Let's now familiarize ourselves with the capabilities of the SearchRec software. SearchRec can interface with a free 3D visualization software called the eDrawings Viewer, as well as with CATIA version 5 and version 6. So first, after launching the SearchRec software, it makes sense to install the eDrawings Viewer if it has not already been installed in your system. SearchRec makes this quite easy. You simply can click on this icon for the imager's logo, and you click on this live link for the eDrawings Viewer, and it immediately directs you to the site from which you can download the software. Similarly, the SearchRec provides you with a one-click access to the user guide. As you can see here, it's very convenient indeed. SearchRec also comes with tutorial samples which have been configured to coincide with the default search directory. You can see those simply by clicking here. Now let's consider a simple use case. Let's assume that we are design engineers who use SolidWorks as the primary development tool and who have been tasked with improving upon a bell crank in a particular design. Since there is an existing bell crank, let's look for it in the database archive for existing designs and utilize it as a starting point. For our simple example, we are only going to search a small database of the tutorial examples that ship with the SearchRec product. Here in the drop-down list for the search patterns, let's select SolidWorks part files as our file type of choice. The color code signals the file types from which SearchRec can extract the images in real time. There is no reliance on archived thumbnails. Let's now kick off the search. Hoo-ha! We immediately see the results. And here is our bell crank. We can quickly relate visually to the content of the search hits and hence conduct an assessment if particular search hit comprises our CAD file of interest. And we can simply double click on the bell crank and immediately it gets pulled up in the eDrawings Viewer, where we can view the design from different perspectives for ultimate verification. For our simple example, the choice is fairly evident, but if we were searching much larger databases, we might be looking at much larger list of search hits. Here, the ability to quickly relate to the content of the search hits would allow us to quickly narrow down the search space and hence would save significant time over exhaustive search. Similarly, let's assume that we are engineers that have been tasked with identifying a pro-engineer part file consisting of a cone and utilizing in our new design. All we have to do is to select the extension for the pro-engineer part file from the drop-down list and hit the Find button. Again, the search results appear immediately. Here there is only one search hit that contains a cone, but we can click on it and the part file appears in the eDrawings viewer and we can take a look at it in 3D for closer verification. SearchRec is also capable of identifying and visualizing CATIA part and product files, as you can see here. Let's now consider a more practical use case involving a larger database. Let's assume that we are engineers that have been tasked with designing the mechanical frame for a tablet PC. We want to identify a previous AutoCAD drawing file and simply modify the design a little bit. So we start out by specifying our root directory. And we obviously need to specify the right extension. Here we are, and we kick off the search. And hoo-ha! Here is the tablet file. Right over here, and we can double click on it as before and bring it up in the eDrawings viewer. By the way, you may have noticed that for some of the hits the SearchRec simply displays a hash mark. This means that there is no drawing embedded in the drawing file. Then how about taking a second look at the CATIA part files? Let's assume we have been tasked with improving upon a design consisting of a base main frame. SearchRec provides a few filters aimed at expediting the process of honing in on the design file of interest. As you can tell, you can further expedite the search process by specifying the file size, the date modified, the date created, or the permission for your CAD file of interest. Based on the criteria listed, the parameter box is automatically populated. Let's assume we are looking for a CATIA part file whose file size does not exceed 100 megabytes, and that has been created within the past year. So even with these criteria, we are still looking at quite a large list of candidates. So we are going to use the part identifier to hone in on our CAD file of interest. The part identifier is matched up against any substring in the file name for the search hits. Since we are looking for a base mainframe, how about we select base as our substring of interest? You can tell that even with this selection, we are looking at quite a number of candidates. You might also have noticed that the lowercase base was matched against either uppercase or lowercase substrings from the file names. Hence, our search was not case sensitive. Now, since we are looking for the base mainframe, how about we specify our substring of interest as base main? Hoo-ha! We just nailed the search. Isn't SearchRec efficient? This concludes the demonstration. We invite you to take a look at the SearchRec utility for yourself. It can be downloaded from ImageR's website. You are also welcome to contact us with questions or suggestions. We thank you for listening.